our lives, because it's what we do. We do thousands of sit-ups in camp. We run hundreds of miles, you know, for the ones that take it serious. And we just dedicate ourselves fully to our craft, man. We watch tape. You know, we attitude, we moving, and we go into that fight to land on the line.
So it's going to be interesting to hear everybody's takes. Ashy, I'm going to start with you first. First of all, just break down the 4 rounds that we did get. Floyd said he was going to come forward, and especially rounds 3 and 4, he was walking down the bigger man, and the bigger man by 14 pounds, I believe. 164 and 150 were the fighter's weight going into the fight. So he was walking him down, and it had its moments of intriguing both sides. Floyd was looking sharp. What'd you think of the main event? And then obviously think about your feelings, you know, and what you saw take place at the end of the fight.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just say the fight, how long it lasted, was amazing, I thought. I thought both guys really asserted themselves quite well. You know, Floyd being the smaller guy, you know, he didn't take a backward step. You know, he stood in there with the bigger guy, you know, let him bang on his body, you know, take that punishment. You know, even though he's blocking it, you better believe he feels it. You know, it's a fight. And, you know, he was doing what he had to do. He was trying to, you know, create space with a pepper jab. He really didn't have an assertive jab. To me, it seemed like in this fight he was looking to make a statement that I can punch with you guys. That's why I'm standing here. You know, you're going to feel me. You know, and he was landing the right hand at will. Now, not to say that Ortiz wasn't doing good things. You know, at times he was coming forward. At times he waited on Floyd because I guess he underestimated how he can attack him and actually be successful. But, you know, there were also times he was trying to adapt. He got on his toes like, hold on, man, let me get on these toes for a minute. You know, let me, you know, rethink my strategy because obviously what I'm doing ain't working. You know, so I think his mind was going all over the place for those 4 rounds. He was in with the most skillful guy he ever been in the ring with. And what he's doing, even though he's punching Floyd at times and getting through maybe once in about a flurry of 10, you know, he knows he's not going to be successful if this continues, and ultimately he's taking punishment in the process. So let me say in round 2 was the biggest adjustment I thought. I thought the shots that he got in, he made them count. And I thought Floyd felt him in that round, even though some people gave that round to Floyd Mayweather. I think Ortiz, even though he was getting touched, he was making his presence felt, you know. And, you know, like Floyd always does, once he decodes, you know, what you're trying to do is holler back. So in the 4th round, you know, Floyd was pretty much dominating the round, timing him very well with the right hand. He didn't show any signs of rust, at least later in the fight. Early he had a couple of times he couldn't land the right hand, but he found the trajectory real fast. And once he did, man, he was finding his target and he couldn't miss. Now, you know, Ortiz, I didn't mention the headbutts because if you know me, you know, hey, you got to get it how you can get it, man. If you can headbutt the guy and hit the guy in the hip, then you know what? If you can get it in without the ref saying nothing to you, you know what? That's strategy. Because if you can get Floyd to fight out of character and you knock him out, you're the man. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with that. But the headbutt that he hit him with was flagrant, you know, enough that would warrant a disqualification because it was malign enough, and it is at the referee's discretion. But, you know, being of the fact that Victor is the champion defending his title in the biggest fight of his life on pay-per-view, he gave him an opportunity. He gave him an opportunity to continue. And, you know, I guess, do I really need to go through the script of how he went over there and gave him a kiss and a hug thereafter, as if a kiss and a hug is supposed to make this humongous pain in my mouth go away because you cut him in the mouth on the inside, on the outside? You know, if you did that and you got away with it without leaping off your head, you know what? That's strategy, boy. That's old school. You know, I have no problem with that. But the one you did was like, I don't want to fight no more. I want to play soccer. I'm going to hit this guy with my head like I'm trying to score a point, a goal. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it was pretty messed up. But, you know, to me, Victor never fights like that. I'm thinking that maybe his trainer or his corner told him that. You know, he looked over there as soon as, you know, he got a point. But, you know, that's usually what they do. They usually look to their corner for instruction. So I don't want to blame nothing on Team Ortiz. But it's a possibility. It's a possibility because Victor fought out of character. He was over-apologetic. That is not indicative of a fighter. A fighter has one job, fight. There is nothing else you can control in that ring but you. You can't control the time the fight starts. You can't control the time the fight ends. You can't control the fact that this man is trying to whoop your ass, and you can't control when he decides to throw punches. And when the referee says, let's go, and signals emotions that y'all need to continue fighting, when you try to go and give a guy some credit and you do a fist pound, you're doing it at your own discretion. You know what I'm saying? Because you are fair game. That is old school. You know, you can go all the way back to Dempsey. I know y'all read the internet, how they put out that old school scrap about Jack Dempsey versus Jack Sharkley, how Sharkley was winning. Dempsey got a little dirty. Sharkley took his eyes off the ball trying to motion to the ref and got knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself at all times. This goes back a long time. We weren't here. We weren't alive when that was invented. How dare anybody try to change this about my sport? Do not weaken my sport. I will not accept it, no less. There is no such thing as a gentleman code. When that clock is ticking, that is your ass. Period. You know, I know how it is. It's a big fight. You know, the 24/7, but 24/7 ain't boxing. You know what I'm saying? 24/7 is promotion. You promote the fight. You know, I mean, you got to understand the sport, man. A fighter got to do what he got to do to get that W. You tell the fans one thing, but you got to send a message, an entirely different message to the fighters that's out there that want to face you. And if you think Floyd didn't put on a virtuoso performance, you're nuts. He made a statement. He put a statement out there. I am throwback. Yes, I got better skills than you. Yes, I'm more conditioned than you. But I'm letting you know, if you give me any opportunity to sleep you, holler back. Because I'm old school. My toolage comes from the deep. And you put any throwback fighter in that moment, they take the same fucking shot. I will not accept boxing, no less. No fucking less. The message you send to the fighters, you got to put them on notice. I am not a media creation. I am a fighter. Yes, I got better skills than you. But I am not your friend between rounds 1 and 10. I had no problem with what Floyd did. And he gave him the benefit of the doubt. He gave him a left hook, and he's still looking at the ref. Deuces, homie. You better get your game up. You champion of the world. You're supposed to know put your hands up. You're supposed to know protect yourself at all times. I'm not accepting my sport, no less. That was a virtuoso performance. I ain't got a damn problem with it. It ain't no fucking controversy. Excuse my emotion, but, you know, I usually, you know, I'm very opinionated. I accept everybody's opinion and debate when it comes to boxing. I will never be confrontational. But this, I will not. I'm not accepting boxing, no less. If you don't like that rule, you go watch fucking figure skating. You need to do your fucking homework. You got to understand, people done lost their life behind protect yourself at all times. Teddy Reed versus Emiliano Valdez. Valdez getting his fucking ass beat. And you can see it on him. He looks like a beaten fighter. But, homie, you're a fighter, and you can't control when the fight stops unless you take a knee or lay down for 10 seconds. Your corner has to throw the flag. He took his eyes off of Teddy Reed, and Teddy Reed slept his ass. He wins. It's not illegal. It's not a sucker punch. You know this going in. They tell you this ever since the fucking amateurs. They tell you this in the locker room. They tell you this right when you touch gloves. Protect yourself at all times. Come out swinging. I'm not here to save you if you put your hands down. That's on you, cuz. That is on you. There is no gentleman code when that clock rings, and I'm not going to accept any media member that's trying to insert one in there. Fuck you. And you'll never see me get like this, but I am about this shit. You got to guard your goddamn grill, man. This is boxing. When the bell rings, it is a fight. You tell the fans that I'm going to put on virtuoso performance, you got to sell the fight. That's the promotion. If you fall for that, you fell for the okie doke. But that's how they get paid. They got to sell it. But when you get in that ring, Floyd, the entertainer got to stay home. Floyd, the fighter, got to show up, and he did. And he did that in an old school way. To me, he certified himself as throwback. You know what? I don't want to hog the whole thing, man. Let me just read you one quote that Bernard said just today. Okay, Bernard Hogg. Y'all know me. When I get serious, I will go find some shit that fighters say.
Yeah, I saw that too.
They're going to side with Floyd. The fighters are always going to side with themselves, and I'm always going to side with the fighters because that's how I learned boxing, through them. You know, I didn't get on the internet and learn boxing. I was in them channels. I talked to trainers. I know that some of these guys are my friends. You know what I'm saying? So I take it real seriously. But let me tell you what Bernard said. He said this: you cannot lose focus and take your eyes off the fight. You have to be aware of everything, legal or illegal, that's going on. The winners in this game are based on who knows the rules in the game of boxing and who knows what you can and can't do. And that often comes down to experience. But by Ortiz being overly apologetic and trying to emphasize that he was so sorry, that made him vulnerable in a fight that was huge. Floyd Mayweather just simply took an opportunity that was presented to him. You better believe he did like a damn gift. He popped a bow on that bitch. He put a message out there. But anyway, this is what he said, man. He was like, you know, you can call it a sucker punch, yes, but it was a legal sucker punch. The reason why you call it a sucker punch is because I didn't give you an opportunity to load your gun up. Because a fighter is not supposed to give you chances. I don't care what the fans want to see. If you're a fighter, you're going to do whatever you got to do to win. And that's the name of the game. And I'm not accepting those, no less. I don't know where these modern guys get where they got to touch gloves all the goddamn time. But I have no problem to seeing if a guy put his glove out there, you sock him in his damn mouth. Remind him where he is and who he is and what he's supposed to do and where his name is signed. The contract. I'm not your homeboy right now. We can go for a steak afterwards. But right now, my mind is on your ass. I don't got a problem with Floyd. My problem was with the HBO telecast being biased. They know this. They've been around for fucking years. And that's why Floyd told Larry Merchant, you don't know shit about boxing. Because that was the opportunity for them to educate the public on the history of the sport, why it's legal and why it's not dirty. Other networks got it right. HBO's the one that got it wrong. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you this, if Roy was there, it wouldn't be this outcry. If Lennox Lewis was sitting there, it wouldn't be this outcry. Why y'all think he calls Emmanuel Stewart what do you say, Uncle Tom or a sellout? He got the same tool as Floyd got. He know better. Quit trying to water this down because you're in the media now and you're getting some bread. Don't take this out the sport. You're supposed to enlighten the public on what happened. My job is win. I ain't got nothing wrong with it. And I hate when the media try to put their own spin on shit, trying to insert shit in my sport. Take that shit out. That shit belongs to another sport. Take that shit out of here. There is no sportsmanlike conduct when the bell rings. If you don't have your hands up, that's on you. If I come out juggling and you got your hands down and I stick you, that's your problem. If you go in there and you watch him play to the audience and you don't hit him, that's your fault. You know what you're there to do for him. The rules are the rules. The more you master the rules, the better fight you become. You can go back to the Dempsey days, throwback days, Carmen Basilio. Those guys knew going in, I'm not going to be as talented as every fighter I face. So I got to get mine in how I can get it. You get your elbows in how you can get it, your headbutts in how you can get it. You can get your opponent to fight out of character. You can get that big punch you always wanted that wasn't coming. And boom, you're the man. You're champion. You become somebody. But if you go in there not knowing what the rules are and what you can get away with and can't get away with, no, you're a loser. And let's be honest, in this sport, winners move forward, losers become sparring partners. And that's all I got to say about it, man.